Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot session today, October 19th, 2024. It's a beautiful day and a wonderful evening. Let's give a shout out to everyone here in the chat. Good to see you, Nikosmas. Much love, Graham. Geronimo, great to see you. MeWeb, good to see you. Rowie, much love. Hollerhaint, great to see you. Jeremy, much love. Taz, good morning. Ganymede, good to see you. Echoes, much love. Taz, great to see you. NA, good evening. Oh, Carrie, great to see you. Much love. Arcs Aeon, it's great to see you. Much love. Moody Views, hey, good to see you guys from Scotland. All right. Much love, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. So let's start by talking a bit about our astrology. So we're still in that full moon phase, but we're now coming out of it, and the moon has shifted alignments. We're moving from that beautiful energy of the moon in Taurus into the moon in Gemini. And now what this is going to be is we're coming out of that grounded energy of the earth where we're in our body, in our physicality, and we're going to be in that inquisitive, outgoing Gemini mode. Now is the time when we want to be in that expansive learning and understanding where we are going to feel trapped in a sense. We're going to need to be able to get out and to blossom and to connect to others. And there's going to be this great desire for knowledge and growth and the sharing of knowledge with others. It's going to be really important to be in that expansive mode of broadening your perspective and engaging with others and engaging in that fun and in that play. And we're also in that sun in Libra. Beautiful energy. And we're almost leaving Libra, right? And we're on that waning end of that energy. And this energy is always about balance and seeking beauty and harmony. Perfect energy to go with Gemini. They flow well together. And with this energy combined, you can really flow and move in harmony and connect to people. Now is the time when you're going to want to move out of the house. You're going to want to be in that expressive mode. You're going to want to engage with others. Now's the time to have a dinner party, enjoy this energy and have fun. So this morning when I was meditating and I was drawing upon the cards, I drew the devil, lo and behold, right? And the devil energy is such intense and complicated energy, right? It is beautiful energy of power grounded in the earth. It is that power that can lead one up the mountain, that can guide one to the middle path. It is the energy that is needed for that great transformation. And it brings out that desire in us. But it's also a confrontation, right? The devil gives you what you want. The devil fulfills desires. So when we confront this energy, we have to be able to confront the self. This is why knowing the self is so central to all of the magical understanding. It is what was written on the walls of Eleusis by the Pythia Femino herself, right? And it's the most important thing. You'll see it everywhere. Read the PGM and you'll see it. Know thyself, right? And why is this essential? It's because when you go to that energy and you shine your light and you enact your will, you need to know where you're going, what you want, and you need to be able to understand where your mind can lead you, right? When you engage in magic, the spelling and grammar is paramount. You must define and imagine and set forth with clarity. And this is very difficult for the vast majority of people without practice and without understanding, And most people don't engage in this particular way. They don't put enough emphasis on understanding, right? If you cannot admit and see the darker aspects of the self, where you fall short, what you are capable of, if you're not willing to confront these things, then you can never make a true wish because you don't know how to combat this potential pitfalls, right? It's so important. The devil is that energy of transformative growth and power, but also he reflects, he shows us who we are. He shines a light, right? Let us continue. We're now going to go to start with our Ganapati oracle. And Ganapati Ganesha is the Lord of beginnings, the divine child, the guardian of the threshold. And we ask them to send us a message and ensure that our words are heard by those who need to hear. So, Ganapati Ganesha, what is the message this evening? All right. Spiritual quest. Spiritual quest. How beautiful, because this was actually the language I was looking for in that long-winded diatribe, right? What is the devil but that ascent up the holy mountain, right? It is the hero's journey itself, right? It is the spiritual quest of attainment and confrontation, right? The devil is the one you need to be able to best in order to ascend the mountain and ascend to the stars, right? And they are your mirror image. Everyone should watch that movie, The Holy Mountain. It's such a beautiful film, and it explains all of this, the entirety of the tarot, in very clear and beautiful language and imagery. All right. We are now going to go to our sortes. And today we're going to start with a sinister assassin, Antonin Artaud. And for those of you unaware, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination through literature. And it comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. And we invoke the goddesses of inspiration, the divine muses, and we ask them to inspire us and to send us a message through the text. So muses, what is today's message from the great and mystical Antonin Artaud? All right. In the face of all what remains of the old Artaud, some notes. Those of the excavator who is rising up sunless beyond the round vault, bar by bar on the staircase of time, made gangrenous by eternity. There they are through a certain pastime. Wow. In the face of all that, what remains of the old Artaud? Some notes. Gosh, I love Artaud. Some notes. What do you mean by some notes? Ever critical, ever refining, ever the Virgo ascending to the stars and learning to strive for that better, that more balanced way. Those of the excavator who is rising up sunless beyond the round vault, rising up sunless to the power behind the star, the dark star rising, beyond the round vault, beyond the vault that is the earth, beyond the bosom of the great mother, beyond the night. Bar by bar on the staircase of time, on the staircase of time, ever ascending. It's time that forces us to ascend and to evolve, right? It is only in time that we can evolve. And this is why we have to experience it here. You have to grow here in time so that you can exist outside of time in the ionic realm. But to do so, you need to be refined like a diamond. We are made gangrenous by eternity. There they are, though, a certain past time. Made gangrenous by eternity. Those wounds, they fester and they rot as we repeat them again and again in those cycles until we can no longer stand it and do something different. Adapt or die. There they are, though, through a certain pastime. There they are through a certain past time. I have that ability to remember, to reflect upon the past, to change and to do something different. Who is the mother of muses? Memnosine, memory. What does memory allow us to do? It allows us to refine ourselves and become the diamond. It is those muses that inspire us in that divine imitation. And we imitate her, that great mother, right? Because like her, we can ascend to the stars and exist beyond time, where we no longer have to cycle back and confront what is gangrenous. Instead, we can experience the totality of being. All right, let's continue. We're now going to go to Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained. Milton. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Milton? Inspire us this evening. To whom thus Adam cleared of doubt replied, how fully hast thou satisfied me, pure intelligence of heaven, angel serene, and freed from intricacies, taught to live the easiest way, nor with perplexing thoughts to interrupt the sweet of life, from which God hath bid dwell far off all anxious cares, and not molest us, unless we ourselves seek them, that wandering thoughts and notions vain. Wow. So beautiful. Let me slow that down for you. To whom thus Adam cleared of doubt replied, that primal man, that first of us and last of us, the fool himself. How fully hast thou satisfied me, pure intelligence of heaven, angel serene, and freed from intricacies taught to live. It is that muse, right? That pure intelligence of heaven, reason herself, angel serene, that beautiful virgin energy, and freed from the intricacies, from the webs of matter and thought, taught to live the easiest way, to walk the middle path, to move in harmony and flow, nor with perplexing thoughts to interrupt the sweet of life, to not overthink everything, to not be bound by anxieties, to be able to see things clear, right? To not interrupt the sweet of life, from which God hath bid dwell far off all anxious cares. From which God hath bid dwell far off all anxious cares, right? The sweet of life where we can live without care, without want. This can be a reality lived upon the earth. It is a projection of the mind, and not molest us, unless we ourselves seek them with wandering thoughts, unless we ourselves seek them with wandering thoughts. This is literally what I was talking about with the devil card. Literally. Seek them with wandering thoughts and notions vain. And notions vain. What taints our magic? Ego, pride, and greed. Thank you for vindicating me, Muse. I love it. Let's continue. All right. We're going to go to the bell jar, Sylvia Plath. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Sylvia Plath? Inspire us this evening. It was completely dark. I felt the darkness, but nothing else, and my head rose, feeling it like the head of a worm. It was completely dark. I felt the darkness, but nothing else, and my head rose, feeling it like the head of a worm. pure sensation, beating your flesh against the hard earth as you pierce through it, feeling everything enveloping you like a tomb in pure darkness. That's the image of the worm. Wow. That is the image of night. And night is the reflection of the earth. Right? Beautiful. Let's continue. We're going to go now to A Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Aldous Huxley? Undoing all their wholesome death conditioning with disgusting outcry, as though death were something terrible, as though anyone mattered as much as all that. How beautiful. Undoing all their wholesome death conditioning with this disgusting outcry, as though death were something terrible, as though anyone mattered as much as all that. And there you have it. It's all just story, right? Let's continue. Euripides. Muses, guide my head. Guide my hand. What is the message from Euripides? Inspire us this evening. The sacred groves are abandoned. The shrines of the gods run with human blood. On the steps of the altar of Zeus, the protector, Priam lies dead. All the gold, all the spoils of Phrygia are being transported to the Achaean. Whoa. And you're seeing the literal flipping of the poles and the transformation. What comes back from Phrygia? What goes to Greece? That great mother Cybele goes to Greece and forever transforms her, right? Wow. What is a death is but a new beginning and a movement, a transformation. Phrygia lives. Hail Sabazios, right? Let us continue. We're now going to go to The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Edgar Allan Poe? We had all calculated that the rudder would hold its own to the last, as it was unusually strong, being ridged as I have never seen one rigid, either before or since. We had all calculated that the rudder would hold its own to the last, as it was unusually strong, being rigid, as I have never seen one rigid, either before or since. Rigid, right? There are two ways you can go through life, my friends. You can flow with the ocean, or you can be the rigid rudder. Either way, you're moving with the water and you're holding on to nothing. Are you going to go kicking and screaming? Is that as beautiful as you think it is? Even if the poetry tells you so? All right. We're going to go to Lorca, 3 Tragedies. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lorca? Inspire us this evening. Your quilt of shaded stone, shepherd, and your shirt of frost, shepherd, gray rushes of the winter on the night tide of your bed. The oak roots weave their needles, shepherd, beneath your pillow silently, shepherd. And if you hear a woman's voice, it's the torn voice of the stream, shepherd. Shepherd, who does the hillside want of you? What does the hillside want of you, shepherd? Hillside of bitter weeds. What child is killing you? The thorn the broom tree bore. Oh, wow. Let me read this back. There was one part I missed that I didn't see at first. Why shepherd sleep alone on my wool quilt? Deep, you'd finer sleep. Your quilt of shadowed stone shepherd, and your shirt of frost shepherd. Gray rushes of the winter on the night tide of your bed. The oak roots weave their needles, shepherd. Beneath your pillow silently, shepherd. And if you hear a woman's voice, it's the torn voice of the stream, shepherd. Shepherd. What does the hillside want of you, shepherd? Hillside of bitter weeds, what child is killing you? The thorn the broom tree bore. Wow. A rebuke for that shepherd by that Virgo, the nymph, the voice of the stream, the dryad, the oread of the trees, right? What is killing him? The thorn the broom tree bore. He created his own demise in this. And that's how it always works, right? The cycles, it's always a tit for tat. Just because you're on the top doesn't mean it's not coming back. Let's continue. All right. We are going to go to Robert Graves. This particular copy of this book has seen far better days, but we love Mr. Robert Graves so much, so we're going to do it anyway. The White Goddess. So much fun, this book. Highly recommend it. Secondary source, but it's beautiful. All right. Muses, what is the message from Graves? Inspire us this evening. I shall go into a hair with sorrow and sighing and mickle care. Oops. Oh, wow. There we go. I shall go into a hair with sorrow and sighing and mickle care. I shall go in the devil's name, I till I come home again. I shall go into a hair with the sorrow and sighing and mickle care. And I shall go in the devil's name, I till I come home again. And I will go in the devil's name till I've experienced and seen it all, until I've refined myself and gunned the trials, ascended the mountain, and been placed upon the stars. It is hair, Gandhi, as in the rabbit. All right. Let us see. We are going to go now to Albert Camus, The Stranger. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Camus? Besides, I usually didn't take things so far. The first months were hard, but in fact, the effort I had to make helped pass the time. For example, I was tormented by my desire for a woman. It was only natural. I was young. I never thought specifically of Mary, but I thought so much about a woman, about women, about all the ones I had known, about all the circumstances in which I had enjoyed them, that my cell would be filled with their faces and crowded with my desires. In one sense, it threw me off balance, but in another, it killed time. I had ended up making friends with the head guard who used to make the rounds with the kitchen hands at mealtime. He's the one who first talked to me about women. Wow. Wow. This tells you so much. Killing time with your desire and your obsession, right? Wow. Besides, I usually didn't take things so far. The first months were hard, but in fact, the effort I had to make helped pass the time. For example, I was tormented by my desire for woman. Tormented by that desire. This is an essential theme in so much of the mythology. and in so much reality for so many people, unable to control themselves in the face of beauty, in the face of the beautiful, not simply woman, right? But eros. But I thought so much about a woman, about women, about all the ones I had known, about all the circumstances in which I had enjoyed them, that my cell would be filled with their faces and crowded with my desire, that my cell would be filled with their faces and crowded with my desire, bound into the earth by the nymphs in the mud, unable to be in that divine embrace with the great mother. This is the imagery of Attis, right? Attis, who gives up true love for lust, and he pursues lust to the bottom of the earth, into the depth of despair and the mud. And what he finds there is nothing but debauchery and not the love he sought. And by the time he realizes the love he sought he had left, he cannot return, not the same. But she takes pity on him and she sends her great beast. And that great beast goes to Attis and shows Attis a way to return and tells him that the way to return is to forsake the nymphs and the mud, to abandon his nature and to transform through imitation and become like the mother. And Attis agrees and goes through the rites, and he ingests the theriac, and he enters the divine frenzy, and in that frenzy he castrates himself in imitation of the mother, and he is forever transformed into Cybele, and he rises to the heights as that great goddess, now transformed and reborn in the stars as Virgo herself. And this is one image of the path, right? A beautiful image. Amazing. All right, we're now going to hop to our tarot proper. But before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does help out. It boosts everything in the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, please reach out to me. I'm emailing everyone, and I have time, and I would love to chat with you. And if you're at all interested in just hanging out, come chill in the Myth and Lore Discord. You can find the links in the description. We're all hanging out. It's a great time, and you'll see me there, Snappy or Lady Snappy. All right. We are now, I'm getting a card shot out. So we're going to hold this and put it off to the side there. We are going to invoke that energy of Saturn and ask them to dissect our life, to cut it up, and to put it upon the plate, and to show us our interconnections, to define our present. And we ask, how do we rise above the conflict? How can we evolve? How do we manifest our true will? And what is the greater message for our community? All right. And the center card is the most important, and we already have a center. And today's center is victory. V is for victory. The drawing down of the stars, Pascal's triangle, right? The 666 envisioned here. For those who know. Beautiful imagery. This is complete success, right? The 6 is that balance. It is that middle place. It is the way forward without resistance. This is finding that true inspiration and walking it. Beautiful. That's exactly where we wish to be. What a great way to start, and to start with a bang. We're connecting. Now that we have that victory, we become inspired. What does the victory represent? We found the middle path. We've drawing down the star, right? Recognize this. You can see the sigil of Lucifer. You can see the triangles descending, the 666 coming down onto the earth. This is our victory realized, our inspiration gained. You can now connect with that muse. Now we do the work. Now we do the serious work of building and transformation in the earth. And what will it manifest? It manifests as the satiety, abundance, growth, community, friendship, and loving harmony. Now is the time for building of that great community, right? We have our success, we have our inspiration. Now we do the work and we come together in that loving harmony and recognize with this expansive energy of the 10, our cups are overflowing. We have charity to give, love to share. Beautiful energy. Let's continue. What better energy to have at the top of our square, connected to that victory than the Knight of Wands, showing up in that outgoing, fiery energy of the one who connects and pursues their desire, their passion, who pursues that muse to defend her and to enshrine her in their heart. No wonder the victory is realized. Beautiful. Where's this going? That Knight is running to justice, to Virgo, to that Virgin, right? That Libra energy, that balance. It's such beautiful, balancing, harmonious energy, about connecting in that flow and about pursuing justice, right? Adjusting, finding that middle path, doing what is necessary to refine and to work towards transformation and creation. Beautiful. Then always the overthinking, always that interference, right? The only thing that is at play here, where the adjustment comes in order so that this Knight can continue to manifest that victory, we need to adjust our thinking. We've moved beyond overthinking, and now we have entered into the realm of interfering. This is willfully putting obstacles in your own way, right? Tripping over yourself, not just doubting yourself and Seven of Swords, right, is that first level of overthinking where we're like, are we sure? Is this the right way? I don't know if I reasoned this out enough, right? But now when you're moving into the 8, it's not just I haven't thought this out enough. It's I haven't thought this out enough and I shouldn't go forward. And I shouldn't, right? It's where you actually prevent yourself now. You're now getting in your own way, right? You're no longer moving. There are stops, right? You're interfering. And also that interfering energy can come from the outside as well, right? It's about recognizing that energy that comes in that throws sticks in the way, conflict from the outside, those who prevent us from manifesting that energy of the Knight, from achieving that victory, right? But the key here, what we're seeing is this finding the harmony and the balance. We need to transform this back into the 6 so that it can be balanced like the victory, right? And if we can achieve that 6 of reason, wow, we'll be in a much more beautiful place. Interesting. Let's see where this is going. Wow. In the bottom of our square, connected to our victory in the Knight, is death. Triumphant transformation. A true new beginning and ending, right? A rebirth, a re-envisioning. And this severing, this powerful transformative magic, it's a literal ending of one phase in the beginning of another. can mean the literal separation, physical, mental, but it's connected to that victory and to this night. This is a wished for ending. This ending is a victory in overcoming, right? Death can be profoundly beautiful. And this is about leaving something behind and being born anew. And that is very much a victory. Out of death comes new birth, new love and connection. The Princess of Cups. Out of that death comes a child. And connection, a responsibility, right? The princesses recognize that infinite potential, the potential for growth and transformation, for full realization in the earth. But they need to be nurtured and cared for and taught and brought to the feet of the muses, right? But if you can do that, then this great transformation and power is the reward. Where's it going? Wow. The destruction of a tower. The flipping of the poles, right? What is this all about? A new beginning. A true new beginning requires a pulling down of the structures, right? A bringing to the end. And out of that death comes a rebirth. When we see both the knight and the tower together, we recognize that this is a true ending, right? This is a true severing. It's Scorpio energy, right? And it is Capricorn. Wow. So much fire, so much transformation. But out of that transformation comes new birth, right? And we're recognizing that this is a victory of moving and growth. And it's about building out of this and manifesting something greater. Wow. What an intense reading, guys. All right. I'm now going to flip my camera so we can get a full perspective here, so you can fully see what I'm looking at. And if you guys would, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. And if you could leave any comments or anything, I would truly appreciate it. I love you all. And if you come hang out on the Discord, come and say hi and drop me a line. All right, here we go. We're going to start here with the work. The work of moving and learning to adapt and balance, to find and connect to that loving Libra energy for the purposes of nurturing the child, right? Doing that hard work that is necessary to nurture and raise her and to work and to balance oneself, right? This is two coming together for that purposes of nurturing the child. Beautiful, right? There's so much potential here. And with that energy of adjustment and the work, we're engaged in actively helping in this harmonious way, right? Beautiful. That Knight of Wands, right? That victory. This is about pursuing our desires. And it's that desire for rebirth and transformation, to truly end the old self and to begin something new, to begin a new phase and to reimagine oneself, to be reborn through the fires of victory, and to define ourselves through our own image as who we wish to be, not who we were told to be, right? Beautiful. The satiety, right? It is that loving community. It is these deep connections that allow us to persist in spite of the collapse and in spite of the interference, right? This is about learning to connect to us, to others, and to be in that harmonious, loving flow, and to rely on the community of our peers, and to seek help when we are confronted with these things, you know? For if we are seeing resistance and interference from the outside, then we can seek help, and others may know how to confront that energy. And when we're faced with collapse, right, others may be able to help us lift out of it. That's part and parcel of the purpose of being in community. Wow. And this also signifies that the birth of this, the manifestation of the deity, comes as a result of that destruction, of that ending. Something old had to lose, had to be discarded and be transformed in order to give birth to something new, reimagined, right? Wow. Let's now look at our crosses. Start here. We have achieved the victory. We have discovered what it is that we want, and we are pursuing it with our full-fledged desire and knowledge. And part of that victory is about the child, taking responsibility and nurturing her. This is a responsibility, but it is one that we accepted, right? This is fated energy. We are meant to do this, and we have to take that responsibility. The knight must defend the princess, right? In spite of the hard work, in spite of the interference. You can't let that interfering mind take you away from this, especially now that you've found what your purpose is, right? This is about doubling down to protect and defend, to be that fiery knight in the face of death, right? To defend her from that interference. Wow. Right. This victory, it's a transformation and it's a collapse. And out of that collapse, there's going to be a need for readjustment and rebirth, a redefining of the self, right? This victory of the self and defining the self means an ending for things, an ending of other ways and a loss in things. And we may not have seen a lot of what we're actually losing, even though we are embracing this ending. We called forth this ending, right? This ending is our victory manifested. There are still aspects of it that'll caught us off guard that we're not prepared for. And in the face of this transformation and of this victory and all this fire, we must balance things out now. You must connect to that loving energy of the Libra and be fulfilled in her arms, right? And adjust and adapt and transform. Manifest the satiety. Do the work that is necessary to take care of that child, right? Overcome that interference. Be that knight, right? This transformation, this destruction is all a part of the middle path as we receive our victory. If we can pursue and engage this, in spite of the interference, so much rewards are coming, so much profound potential, right? And we already here are connected, the Knight and Libra. There's already a loving harmony for the purposes of this work, right? There's already a victory. We just have to persist through this transformative time of rebirth. Do the work to manifest the satiety. Victory is realized. We just have to be that knight and ensure its outcome. All right. Beautiful reading. Thank you all for joining me. I hope it resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. We're going to do one final sortes and then we'll call it an evening. And we're going to go back to our man Arto. All right, a sinister assassin. Muses, what is the message from Arto? Inspire us again. The story of the radio broadcast is lamentable. The text may well appear in combat or as a booklet, but you won't hear the sounds, the sonorous xylophone passages, the screams, the guttural noise in the voice, all of which would have finally constituted a first vision of the theater of cruelty. It's a disaster for me. Yours sincerely, Antonin Artaud. What's so wild is that what is a disaster for Artaud becomes a legendary defining moment. Right? In the theater of cruelty, it may never have been realized in the vision he wished, but it has since been realized and transformed the very art of theater itself. And that is where the magic lies, right? Wow. Beautiful. What may appear as a failure or a disaster may not be in the end. You know, Crowley thought he failed, right? Crowley thought he failed. And yet we're still talking about him in all his BS all this time later, right? How much of a failure was he? All right, everyone. Peace and love. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope I see you again tomorrow for more live tarot and sortes. Take care.